everyone, I'm Elena and welcome to Makeup Fabulousness. Today I'm going to be doing all 12 shades of NYX Lip Lingerie. You may ask, why am I doing it this time when the lipstick's been out for about 4 months? And I will tell you. Basically, since January I was scoping YouTube and trying to find people with my skin coloring. I either found people who had my coloring and was too warm, or was much lighter and cool, but I couldn't find anybody with my skin tone. I'm pretty much fair neutral. Sometimes I'll get the very lightest when it comes to foundation, and other times I'll get like a shade darker. And then I have realized that with these colors, the nude enhances your natural lip color. So if you have like really dark complexion and lightly pigmented lips, you might be able to wear something different compared to if you have a really light complexion and darkly pigmented lips, or vice versa. So I found that, you know, your lip pigmentation as well as your coloring makes all the difference, in the world with the NYX Lip Lingerie. So we're going to start from 1 to 12 and just do it in numerical order, which brings me to number 1, which is Honeymoon. Honeymoon is probably one of the friendliest browns for people who want to adopt the 90s trend, who are lighter skin tone, because browns can be very dramatic, especially if they're darker and they're true browns, but this is more of a cool brown. So if you have a cooler complexion or a neutral complexion, this is ideal. Let me show you the swatch. And this is Honeymoon. Okay, brings me to number 2. This is probably one of the most unique colors I've seen in a long time. It's called Embellishment, and this is a grayed out purple, so it's ideal if you want to try something that's not, maybe you're afraid to try purple. It's a little mauvish purple. To me it's like a like grayed out lilac. So it's great if you have a cool complexion. If you're warmer, it really just depends. And I like this, but I'll show you. I think this is something that would work with really, you know, like if you're wearing black and white like I am today, or if you tend to gravitate towards cooler colors in your wardrobe. I like this. I probably would wear it more at night as opposed to wearing it during the day where I work. But as I said, this is Embellishment, and this is probably flown off the shelves because it was sold out for a very long time. To number 3, which is Lace Detail. This is a, almost dropped it. This is a lovely, just pure nude. I think it's a peachy nude. Let's see. It's one thing about these colors, it's going to register different for everyone. This is one of the lightest colors, but not the lightest in the collection. I like it personally because I don't mind wearing light colors, and I think the lighter you are, the better chance the colors are. So looking at this up close, it's like a peachy pink nude. On a lot of you it's going to be nude. It may be a brownish peachy, pale peachy pink when it dries down, and I've noticed that these dry down darker. Brings me to number 4, which is Satin Ribbon. No, not. I always say Satin Ribbon for number 4, and it's Ruffle Trim. Now, this is one of the most pretty colors. It was actually the first one I ever bought, and I like it because it's a nice rosy nude. On me, when it dries down, It's like a deep rosy brown, but because of the contrast, I really love the color. So this is rosy, or sorry, Ruffle Trim, which is one of the darkest colors in the collection, Honeymoon. Oh no, I take that back. That's Honeymoon. This is Beauty Mark. So Beauty Mark is also is the darkest, or second darkest. I'm trying to figure this out still. It is a pure brown. So I don't recommend it unless you love wearing dark colors, if you're like have lighter complexions, but this is going to be ideal for medium to deep complexions who are looking for a brown tone. I've noticed also it's the thickest consistency. Embellishment is just slightly, it's also very thick, but as you can see, this is very, very thick, so you just have to be very careful in applying it. But this is Beauty Mark. Number 6, which is very similar to Lace Detail. This is Push Up right here. So if you see the difference, this is Lace Detail, which tends to be a little more pinkish, and, oops, sorry, wrong finger. And this is Push Up, which is probably, oops, here, okay. So Lace Detail is right there, Push Up is right there. They are so similar. So to me, Lace Detail is more pinkish compared to Push Up, which is more peach. And I'm going to swatch it. It has very good coverage and there's no streakiness, but this is Push Up. Okay, number 6. Oops, no, number 7. We're past the halfway point, guys. Okay, so number 7. This one is very light, and this is probably the second lightest in the collection. I like it a lot. It's called Satin Ribbon. See right there? It's very pale. Now, it's been said that the lighter colors tend to be streaky, so I'm going to just do a close-up and show you how it looks. There is a touch of streakiness, but this you can build on. So I think as long as you do 2 thin layers, you'll be okay. You really have to, as you can see, when you look at these 3 colors, Lace Detail, Push Up, and Satin Ribbon, this is like a paler peach version of Push Up. So it's really, it comes down to personal preference. I think this will look good with either really light tones or warm tones that are maybe medium and want a dramatic contrast. And deep tones, it really just depends, you know, on what your, how warm or cool you are and how much, if it makes you ashy or not. But there is some peachiness in there, so it may not, but you guys would know for sure. Come to number 8, and this one is one of my favorites. It's called Bedtime Flirt. Took me forever to be able to get this, and as you can see, it's very similar to Ruffle Trim, but it's more pink. And then if you look at it against something like Lace Detail, you'll see that it's just more of a rich pink, and it's not going to wash. It looks good on most skin tones. I've seen it look great on medium and to light, and maybe even some deep tones would like this if they want like a really light color. I'm going ahead and swatching it. Darn. and it's definitely one of my favorites. So here it is. Bedtime Flirt. Probably one of the most wearable colors in the collection for everybody. This is one of the more unusual tones for me. I never really wore a lot like this when I was younger, so this is a good way to get out of my comfort zone. This is Corset right there. It's probably recommended most for people who have light complexions, because this is, since it's beige, it's going to wash a lot of people out, and a lot of people want the color in their lips to be, when you wear a nude, you want it to pick up the color in the lips. Very few people have such lightly pigmented lips that it's going to look that beige will look like their actual color. But if you want something different, and it is something that just really depends on the individual. It applies well, it's not too streaky. But as you can see, it's very cool. But when it dries down, it'll dry down a little darker. So this is good if you want something out of the ordinary and tend to gravitate towards light. So this is Corset. Me, I probably would wear it once in a while. Darkest color in the collection to me. This is Teddy right here. See? That's Teddy. They are, Beauty Mark and Teddy are so similar, but I find the application with Teddy is a lot smoother. It's not as thick. And this is Teddy. So it gives you an idea of what to expect. So I think this is most ideal for medium to dark. But again, if you tend to like the really contrast dark, this is a good alternative if you're a little bit, also if you're really light skinned tone and want an alternative to black. This is more pure brown, and this is a little bit more red. It has a tint more red in it. For Beauty Mark. Brings us to number 11, which is the lightest color in the whole collection. This is going to be very popular if you're just trying out lipstick for the first time and want to try the pink. This will be the most pinkest, but it's also the lightest. So this is Babydoll. Now I found that even though these apply streaky, if you work with it, as you can see right here, it evens out. It's just that some of these new ones will be a little trickier. So this Babydoll. Okay, artist one that always escaped me. This is Exotic. This is one of the coolest colors of the collection because it has the most color in it. As you can see, it's like a beautiful brick red. So, but it's not one of those reds that when you're wearing them, they're like, oh my gosh, what bright red lipstick you're wearing. It's so brown based that if you look at the browns compared to it, this is Exotic right here, here's Teddy, and here's Beauty Mark. Beauty Mark is slightly in between Teddy, and it's probably closer to Teddy than Exotic. I like the color because I love reds. I've never met a red I don't like. On me, when it dries down to a reddish brown. Then I'm swatching it for you anyway. and this is Exotic. As you can see, when it dries down, it'll dry down darker, but I love this color because to me you don't see a lot of colors like these. And what made me so crazy about the Lip Lingerie, not the fact that, yeah, you put on liquid lipsticks, they're notorious for drying, but when I wear these, I feel like I can still move my lips and they're not tight. And then if you're wearing it, it probably takes about 30 seconds to dry, and if I kiss my hand, it's essentially transfer proof. You get maybe like 1 or 2 spots, and that's only because I didn't let it dry longer. So once it dries down, it's pretty transfer proof. When I wear it to work, no matter what the color, it probably lasts me a good 4 to 5 hours, and that's with a cup of coffee and eating lunch. So if you can imagine, if you went the whole day without eating, or you were watching what you were eating, it probably would last you the whole day. The only thing I've noticed is that the inside will start to wear away, but I'm used to wearing lipstick about 2 to 3 hours and having to reapply all the time, and sometimes it's even less than that. So I highly recommend these, especially if you're into nudes, and you want a natural look, or you just were looking for a good nude lipstick, and just as long as you have the expectation that these won't dry down to the point of your lips being completely moisturized, but at least they won't hurt like so many of the other lipsticks will. And also, they pretty much last for a good amount of time. Anyways, if you like to see more videos like this, please like or hit the subscribe button. I will also want to thank everyone who has commented, subscribed, and liked. It's always good to hear feedback, whether negative or positive. So keep it up, and I hope you guys have a great holiday weekend. Okay, bye-bye.